last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Arthur.
Boy, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Judgment, Arthur.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a-running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love it when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see you guys tonight. Hey Chi-Chi. Oh Chi-Chi, I thought okay, there we go. Okay, Chi-Chi's blue. I was like, I thought I gave you a wrench when you made a comment earlier. Thank you so much, Chi-Chi, for being here, and thank you for lighting that chat up with blue hearts for Devlin Tate. I've decided to do a live about Devlin tonight. I was going to go live earlier today, but I had a whole lot of information come in, and I really wanted to give it my full attention. So I've been doing that today. And Chuchi says, can we please hit that like button and put the thumbs up if you haven't, and go back and tap that real quick. come back and be greatly appreciated. Aw, thanks, Chi. It will help get Devlin's name out there. It does. It really does. It helps to get the cases in the algorithm. And so you guys are so awesome about doing that. And also, I wanted to say thank you for anybody that gives the videos a boost because that's something new um, that we can do. So I think it puts it farther out into the algorithm. And Swan says about commercials. Yeah, I know. Swan, I don't know if the videos freeze. I know I don't pay for premium. The only way that you can get no ads at all is if you have YouTube Premium. So I'm sorry about that. And guys, we do get paid through AdSense. Hey, K9 Captain Jules, good to see you. Good to see you. Good evening, everyone, says Jules. And I'm so happy to have you here, Jules. We've missed you, and I know you're working really hard. I have some maps to go over tonight, and that is not my forte at all. Joe Neal says, I'm invested in Devlin's case, but I'm waiting for Lady Freedom to really give his backstory, his victimology. Sounds like there are some rough patches. So, Joe, I've been working on that as well. And what I've been discovering is more than rough patches. And I appreciate your patience too. And like, of course, you being invested in Devlin's case and being here. It's a lot to unpack. Um, it's going to be there's going to be a lot of delicate subjects. Um, and I just need to make sure that I have the right information before I feel comfortable proceeding, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about it because there's a lot, right? I've also invited family members to come in the chat. I've only asked that we keep it respectful and try not to bring up the past as much as possible, even though, and I mean that at this juncture. When we have family dynamics that are rough, it can be very difficult. And I just want to make sure that I tread lightly, especially when I'm not as knowledgeable as I would like to be on some of the subjects. Um, hey, Kelly Holcomb, thanks for hitting the like button. I'm finally catching the beginning of a live. How's everyone tonight? Yay, Kelly, thanks for being here. Woohoo, Kelly's here. Thanks, Kelly, for all the blue hearts. Thanks, Chi. Kelly says, what do y'all think about Devlin? Any thoughts? That's a good question, Kelly. I have a lot of thoughts, and I also am still processing. I'm like still downloading the information. We have a dispatch audio, piece of audio that I want to go over. Now, that night there was some calls coming in. There was a domestic call. There was another call with a guy that had like, I don't know, maybe a warrant or something like that. So I kind of fished out all of Devlin's information that was pertaining to his case. I want to go over that too. Hey, Women's Warrior, thank you so much. And shout out to you for the absolutely sweetest email. Really, really appreciate you. Yeah, you had me bawling like a baby over here. Like that was so sweet of you. So thank you for your kind words. And Cinderella, thank you for your super sticker. That is so awesome. I love your new avatar. Is that new? Because I don't remember seeing that. Very cute. And thank you all for being here and the green, or excuse me, thank you all for being here in the blue hearts. I'm so used to saying green hearts. I was actually going to kind of do like a mashup tonight of Sebastian and Devlin's case, but I decided that there was a lot of information to go over um, that I had picked up today. We'll just say that. Yay, Shadow. Thanks for being here, Shadow. I really appreciate you. Thanks for the blue hearts, guys. The blue hearts are awesome. Hey, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. Thanks for hitting the like button. And we have Cal Gal here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I know, Joe. I hear you though, buddy. I want to get down to it. I do, but I also want to make sure that everybody gets to tell their sides of the story and I can process through. Um, Women's Warrior, Lady Freedom, I have been emailing other true crime creators about Devlin's case. I hope you don't mind. Not at all, please. Thank you so much for doing that, Women's Warrior. That I pointed them in yours and Panda's direction if they need basic information to raise awareness. Well, thank you very much, Women's Warrior. I really appreciate that. So, Chuchi has been doing that too. And also, I've had a lot of people sharing it out, like Smiley. Shout out to Smiley Stories World. She's been sharing out information. So the more that we can get, it's hard when you're coming into a case at the 5 month mark. We're going on 5.5 months, right? Time flies by, and here we are just trying to piece everything together. And like I said, it's going to evolve in this case because we come into it and then we're gathering information. In the beginning, I was very outraged about the situation. I'm understanding things a little bit better now, but I can't say that there's things that I don't greatly disagree with. So we're going to get into it. And I also think that when we listen to the 911 call, it's going to reshape our timeline again, right? So it's going to reshape our timeline again. Uh, Women's Warrior says, Lady Freedom's, my words are true. Aw. And I think you need to know that you don't ever go unnoticed. Sometimes when things get tough, we need to go to know that we're doing the right thing. God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you, Women's Warrior. I don't know how you knew that today, but you did. Because like I said, guys, it's like what I was telling Joe, it's gonna be like beyond. Okay, it's not good. Brenda Calvert, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I've discovered some things that, you know, a lot of the time too, I will look at a situation, if somebody will tell me something, and I will think to myself, okay, somebody said A, B, and C to me, right? But then when I have other people coming to me and saying the same information, and it's over and over again, it's very concerning, right? Because it's like, okay, well, this person has told me this, another reliable source has told me this, another person has told me this, and you just kind of keep going. And yes, it is hearsay, but that doesn't mean that there's not some truth to it. So I want to try to find the truth in it. So hopefully we can do that too. Um, Shadow. All right. So what I want to do is first we're going to look at, because I know Jules is here, I want to look at these maps. And so let me just pull this map up for us. And bear with me here. I got it. Okay. So here is a portion of it. Let me go ahead and just kind of zoom out. So here's the entire map. Can you guys see that? Okay, and I apologize. I'm going to zoom in on it so it's better to see, but this is the entire map. And then when I go in, right, we can see some trails. Michigan, and that's the number, and we know that Devlin's last name is Tate. And so we have some time-stamped areas, right? So 4/22/25. Devlin was reported missing a little bit later on. And you know what? Maybe we'll just play that. Give me 1 second. Let's play the dispatch audio real quick. And I should have done that first. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. So here's this. There's Sebastian, his cute face. All right, hold on a second. All right, so let me play this for you guys.
3416, copy a call.
Good.
going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but is normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. Lake Odessa. The Lake Odessa officer is aware and is looking around the village, but if you could check the area as well.
Okay.
Also, be advised, the aunt had said that he's got a friend, Joni Sowers, who lives in the trailer park. There's a possible address for her in the notes as well.
Okay.
2232. 6436, your status?
Security.
Clearance suspending, 2232.
22 from Central. Go ahead. I ran her caller. She's got a couple of care bonds out of Iron County. I'm clear. 2232. 3416 from 395. Good. I can head over to 47 Mandy and check out that address, if that works with you. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
463 status.
Okay.
You're okay, 2237.
36 is Otter. 9 and 16 are Grand River and Dorian Drive.
Clear 36 or 78 to one of you, break to go back 622.
36 full.
Clear 2239.
622 LBL.
Clear, you're out 2239.
26 here. 4919 secure. Well, secure 2242. Real stone.
Clear 1 to team 61360, clear the rest.
Sure, Jack.
2242.
I want to go check the address 47 Mandy. 47 Mandy no longer exists. I am going to go down to the auction barn and see if he's over there.
I'm clear 2259. 3416, copy your call.
Good.
Okay, guys, so that was the dispatch call. The only thing that I want to say about it now, right now, is that I find it very odd that Sabrina directed the police to the Parapro's trailer at the trailer park, and I think that needs to be examined. She gave them a wrong address, right? I don't know if she deliberately gave them a fake address or if she didn't really know. But here's Mandy and here's Keisha. You can kind of see it. We've gone down over there on the Google Maps, but it looks like Joni lives at 76 Keisha Court in Lake Odessa. So she sends the police over there, and I find that to be interesting, to say the least, because it seems like she's pointing the police in the Parapro's direction, so they didn't check there again because the phone pinged at 11 p.m., right? So if the police were already over there looking for Devlin, maybe that's why they told them to go check there first. And they did go check, right? But the address didn't exist that was given. Very interesting. That's what I'm saying, Women's Warrior. How would she know that was the last place he pinged? Right. And that was at 11 p.m. So I also found out something interesting today that I wasn't aware of. And like I said, I did ask the family to come in and confirm it, which Tamara had emailed me a couple days ago. I think it was either yesterday or the day before, and I got back to her late. But she had said that Sabrina would know more about, what happened that day because Sabrina was in town and she was at home but somebody had told me a little while back that there was like an odd job or something to that effect, right? That they had went to, and I was wondering about an odd job um in town. So Sabrina was in town too, and I didn't really realize that either. So I was glad we can kind of piece that together a little bit better, because there was other things that were interesting in this call, but I want to kind of piece it out. But I would like to go to the maps too. And Chi says, Lady Freedom, does Devlin normally leave at 7 a.m., then come home every day at 7 p.m.? Well, not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, he had a curfew of 10 o'clock the latest, right? And then if he didn't make it home, there were nights that he was locked out, is what was said. So it is odd, right, that at 7 o'clock they would be looking for him. And also the 7 o'clock time is the first time that's the first time I've heard of it being 7 o'clock, that he's home at 7 o'clock. Because before she said it was 8 o'clock, and then Sabrina said that on the news clip too, that it was 8 o'clock. So and I know that Matt was in the chat the other night, said that he called Jessica around 7:30, right? So that kind of puts that time frame in. Sabrina also called Jessica, and then Jessica, according to Jessica, she said that she told Sabrina, go ahead and call the cops, because if he's upset that the police were called, right, on him, at least, we know that he's okay. So at the very least, because they were calling her worried, have you talked to him, at around 7:30. I believe Matt called first and then Sabrina. So it's definitely odd, right? Devlin left after 7 a.m., a little bit after 7 a.m., because I believe it was Sabrina leaving. Let me check my notes really quick. I'm sorry. So Sabrina supposedly left the house, and Devlin hadn't left yet, but was putting bedding away and had already had his boots on, ready to walk out the door. And Sabrina left the house at 7:28 a.m. to go do an odd job, um, in Lake Odessa. And it said that her boyfriend also was with her, who is William. Uh, I'm sorry, I just had a complete brain fart. William Hartman, sorry. Goodness sakes. Hey, hello. Women's Warrior says lady was her partner who was in prison, and she used the money to get him out or something. What was he in for if that was her partner? Yeah, yeah. So Women's Warrior, you're right. It was Sabrina's partner, William Hartman, who she used the money to bail him out. And I don't think he was in prison. I think he was just in jail over child support. And I think that she also used the money to pay for for some repairs on her truck. And to my knowledge, she still owes like $670 toward the fund, but somebody else threw in for her for the money that she took out, is the best of my understanding. Hey, Brenda. Brenda says, maybe they were looking for him to make sure he made it to court. Wasn't that the next morning? Just a thought. Yeah, maybe he had an earlier time, like curfew time. That's true, Brenda. They could have had an earlier curfew that night. And that's the thing. I don't know, because they were talking on the news that it was like a little after 8 o'clock, I believe. So that's why it's kind of weird. But 7, then I heard 7:30 from Matt, and I'm like, well, that puts the time frame back again. Hey, Holly S, good to see you. And so, yeah, it definitely puts it in a different time frame, right? I mean, that's the hardest thing is the different time frame. And then let's look at these maps because there's some interesting things on these maps. And I just kind of want to point out some of these timestamps. This would be 4:22:25, around 5:30 p.m. They were looking 5:18. So you can see them that they're going out searching for Devlin, and this is all of what they've done for the 22nd. And let me make sure. Can you guys see that okay? Just let me know if you can't see it. I've tried to blow it up a little bit, but I don't want to distort it or anything either. Yeah, I know. That's my question too. See, Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom, somebody had told me that he was doing a GED prep, but I don't know how true that is. But in the dispatch, it seems that Sabrina told the dispatch that that she was a friend of Devlin's, not a parapro. It doesn't sound like they were saying like, oh, his teacher, like the way I would have said it was like one of his teachers, or I don't know. It's weird. Or maybe I would have just said parapro because that's what she is. I know. I don't know. So, and here's the dogs, right? We could also see where it's marked dogs. It looks like they may have found some evidence over here, right? And again, I might have to zoom out to kind of show you guys the location. Um, there we go. So of course we see Tupper Lake, and this is up by his house, right? Oh, and I think maybe I have to go to the next one to see his house area. Um, there's a lot of will on here. Okay. So I wanted to share with you too what Jules was telling me earlier about these maps, which she is very, very talented with this stuff. So she says um, that it's interesting on the map that they have Canine Quinn's Trail. So looking at Canine Quinn, and oh, and I'm sorry, let me go to this next one. Oh, sorry, this is another one. That was Sebastian's stuff. Is it this way? There we go. Alrighty. So we do have Canine Quinn's Trail. Right here, Canine Quinn. And if you have a trail versus a track is different. So we have that information just so we know. The flights that we see on the map are going to be helicopters or private planes they use to search, which is very good. So that's a very good sign that we're actually getting a good search going, right? Fantastic for law enforcement. We appreciate you. Also, um, let's see here. This area here, it looks like there was a hit here or something, or maybe some evidence according to Jules. So I wanted to say that giant circles like these usually mean a specific points, generally last known location, sightings, evidence if found, etc. And they usually help reset the target search area. And it says it looks like they're probably using the SAR topo, right? And I remember that from um, Sebastian Rogers' case, right? That's the one that they used, and that's what Eric Craddock said, at least. So I thought someone at Molly's Pizza was working with him on his GED. As far as I know, he went to Penny's. He went to a Penny's Pizza, right there in town. And you know, I'm not sure if it was somebody at Molly's that was helping. And the thing about Devlin is he knew so many people, and he would talk to anybody, like anybody. And so I think, he might have been getting help from other people, just in the community. Was it a burglary or a home invasion robbery? Um, you mean the B&E, the breaking and entering? Maybe he wasn't at the trailer court, but someone had his phone there before 11 p.m. Something went on. Well, and the thing is, yeah, Penny's. Thanks, perfectly imperfect boy mom. And he might have been getting some help for his GED at Penny's too. Um, but the 11 p.m. ping, I don't know. I'm just not sure because let me see here. Can I see it on this map? I don't think so. It might be this other one. No, see, this is all up near. I'm sorry, guys. I am not the best with maps. Okay, and then the Bonanza Road is up here. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I knew exactly where that was. So with the trailer court ping, the only thing that I can think of is that somebody ditched his phone over there around 11, you know? Because it seems to me that the last so, I don't even know if there was a sighting of him or not in the whole day, even, after what, 8:21 a.m. We'll just say that. Well, we definitely know that he used his bridge card, and that's his food stamp card. So he still has $200 on it. And I find that to be very interesting, that he has that. And he hasn't used it, right? Because you would think he would at least be using that. Now, I will tell you that I know he doesn't mind getting burner phones. And the reason how I know that is because of a conversation that he had with some of the people at Bob's Barn Jams. And let's see what happened to Devlin. Here we go. Let me just go here. All right, so there are two videos. One, oh, let's get one we have of Devlin. There we go. I just wanted to make sure you guys could see that. At Bob's Barn, right? And he was there on 3/30/25. And then we also have one where he was there again on 4/13/25, right? According to Bob's. And thank God for Bob's, having attention, reward, missing person, right? Call Ionia, Michigan's sheriffs if you have to see, or if you have seen Devlin, right? And this is the time that he was up there. Well, he goes up and sings, and he's, just an awesome kid, to get up there. This is part of him singing, and I'm just gonna go, and I did post this video for you guys to see too. But let me see here. This is before. Hold on, let me see. Because he starts talking right here, and I want you guys to listen about his cell phone. Hold.
This is God's country. And this is where the part that when I was recording the one song that the dude was singing, it went black. That's what's been going on with my phone lately. So if it messes up, I'm sorry. There's times that I have to even restart my phone lately. It's been doing it ever since I dropped it on 5th Ave and broke the screen. No, it hasn't done this lately until yesterday. I don't have the money right now to fix it. Yeah. So it looks like I might not even be able to do it because I'm not even able to go to the home screen or nothing.
Give it a try.
Yep. If I get it fixed by the end of the week, maybe it will work. But right now, I don't know. I actually didn't get this from the AT&T store. I got this right down here at Family Dollar. So that's probably part of the reason too.
I've been told
I tried though.
they have trouble getting free one here.
I would.
All right, so there we go. Okay, sorry guys. So with that being said, Devlin had a burner phone of types, right, that he got over at the Family Dollar. He went and bought the phone. So, I'm not saying that he couldn't just go off and buy another phone, or something like that, right? But, nevertheless, we don't know if he had any extra money, but from what I've heard, he didn't have a whole lot of money, and he was even saying he didn't have any money to fix his phone, the one that he dropped, right? And so with that being said, I just don't see him having any money to leave or go anywhere, even if he really, really wanted to. And yeah, it was just a B&E, Joe. It was just a B&E, and that's it. There were other issues too as well, with court. And according to what Matt was saying, there was a probation violation. So, if someone was home, that's something he'd snitch over. Well, and I was looking at the Michigan militia also, and I had shared a couple of people, to look at, with other people, right? I was like, what about these people, or what, because Devlin was said to have been living with them for about 2 to 3 months at a certain time. So, oh, hey, Jessica, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight for my son. Thanks, Jessica. I appreciate you. Um, he could keep himself out of prison at least, yeah. And I mean, I think that it was said that he was worried about getting to court, like he wanted to make sure that he was going to get there. So that's another reason why, if he was apprehensive about it, yeah, that could make him want to run away from it, fight or flight, right? You're either going to stay or you're going to run away, and that's, understandable. And so he could have just decided, well, I'm going to take off. But then again, I don't think that he had the means to do so. Hey, Chuchi says, so his phone don't work because he dropped it, not because the battery, correct? Is that what he's saying here, in my opinion, that lady? Yeah, like that's what he said. That's what Devlin said to the group. And that was on, give me a second. My brain is mush today. I swear, you guys, it is like, I apologize. Jeez Louise. Um, let's see here. When did I say that date was? He went in the other. Oh, this is I'm on the wrong video. That's why it's not working. Okay, the dispatch audio is that, and this one here. So he said that statement, Chuchi, on 4/13/25. 4/13/25. So, and he liked to go over to Bob's, and he was there that day, and that was only what, like, let's see, 7 or 8 days. Am I doing that right? And my math is horrible. But not far off. And then right before that, when he was wearing the black hoodie, he was there at Bob's at 3/30/25. So, um, before that so that would have been March, at the end of March. And then again, he was there, mid-April, right before he went missing, and he, told the group, "Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what he was trying to grab up off his phone. Sorry, my big head. Um, I don't know what he was trying to grab, but he had some kind of issues with the phone, and yeah, he said he dropped it on 4th Avenue. Um, hey, Kelly says, "Hey, Jessica." Thanks, guys. Hey, Shadow says hello, Jessica. Holly S. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for um, being so welcoming. Yeah, I'm thinking someone ditched his phone by the trailer court. Well, because I was thinking it seems like they were pointing towards the trailer court to begin with. The caller was, which the caller was Serna. Um, Adam Forever 21 says no food card transactions and no one reported him missing or pin reset. Not good. He would need that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he would need it, and like that would have been his only form of, like money, right? Because like he could barter with the card. He could be like, "I'll buy you groceries if you let me stay with you or whatever." And maybe he could have stretched $200 out and, hitched a ride with somebody. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that it wouldn't be possible, because he was talking about going to see his mom, Jessica, right? Um, Joe says, if he were to testify against someone with previous violent felony convictions, he couldn't sent someone away for decades, or he could have sent someone away for decades. Sorry. Yeah, that is a strong possibility, especially we were talking about that in the chat the other night, that there could have been someone who didn't want him talking in court. Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom says, "Did she have a way to track him? It's strange she pointed them in that direction." Well, and that's a good question, like a Life 360 app or something like that. I'll have to ask Tamara and see if maybe she knows if like anybody if anybody had a tracking device, unless Jessica knows that one too. And I'm not saying tracking device, that sounds horrible. But you know what I mean, like tracking him through the cell phone, like Life 360. Because people use Life 360 a lot, especially like if you have a big family, and they do have a big family. So, yes, but let me go ahead and present this other one up here. And they did give a different address also. I do want to just put that out there. Is because Mandy, I guess like the one on Mandy didn't exist anymore. So they had to go to the other one. Okay. So we have this map, right? Oh, this is number 2. I believe I needed to go to number 1. Okay. Because this one we can actually see like the first day, I think, a lot more on here. And it's going to be tough to kind of decipher, but there's a lot of good information on here. And then if people wanted to screenshot it, absolutely feel free to do that and use it on the videos. But we do have some circles, right? Spots of interest. April 23rd, 2025, right? Um, Jacob 39F15, right? I don't know what 48 AM is, but it looks like it's flight air data. So this looks like there might have been some sort of something hitting over here. We also do have the Canine Quinn Trail, which Jules said she was looking into this as well because um, I believe that this could have been based on where it is, where the dog would have hit, or where he caught a trail, right? I guess we could say, and I think it's different from catching a trail than hitting on something. And again, it's right in the area because he lives kind of over in this area, and I apologize, but I can't really tell exactly. But somewhere around off of Tupper Lake here. And we also see, what was the other thing I wanted to point out here? I'm sorry, guys. Let me make sure. Now, this is another April 23rd, so it looks like they had flights, right? That's the one I was looking for. They had flights in the air. And then, like I said, I did want to point out on here, if we look down the map, this is the bottom, right? And then we have some kings, perhaps. I'm not sure, but like Will is here. Will is here. And it looks like they didn't search in the lake, that they may have just searched around it, as we were talking about before. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. Here's another Will, right? R. Greg, T. Greg. So I'm not sure if that is those are people that were searching, right? Or what that is. And then, oh, sorry, this one is not the one. That's my other letter that I was working on. And this one is going to show kind of like right here all the way around the lake. And you can see that they kind of, and I'm not sure if this is flight, this black part here. But it definitely looks like it was just searched around Tupper, in my opinion. And please, if you guys are more knowledgeable, correct me in the chat, right? But we have more air data here, right? 3:30 p.m., April 22nd, 2025 air data. And maybe that's Jacob with a 39 F15. Some more data there. And then, of course, we have some spots of interest here. And again, I just think that that's very quite possibly about where. Now, it's not quite to Bonanza. It's not quite to Bonanza. Bonanza's up here. This is down further, right? So, hey, Jen, there's our girl, Jen. I know you got some map skills, girl. It's late for me. She says, I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good night. Yes, good night, Jen. I will send you these maps so you can take a look at them and hopefully, um, you know, it'll help with some of it. So, Women's Warrior says, Lady, is that an astrology map? Because it was the first time I saw one yesterday and I was gobsmacked by what I was seeing. I wonder if perps think, how do they know where I was, etc., if it's accurate. Yeah, I mean, I will say that this does remind me of Jen's map. It does. It does remind me of Jen's map. Um, a lot, a lot. Hey, Jen. Sorry, guys, I'm going back up in the comments here. Um, Jessica says he had the Life 360. However, it was law enforcement that pinged his phone. Right. Okay, thanks, Jessica. I was thinking that too. I wasn't sure if he in fact had that, you know. Oh, let's see if they were if he were here to testify. Oh, I read that one already. Hey, Detroit, Rock City. Detroit, I looked on the I'm glad you're here, Detroit. Thanks for being here. So I looked on the flyer that I just put out and I had it for 2025. So I don't know which flyer, but if you wanted to print out or send out, the one I have is on my page. And I did have to switch up. What did I do? Oh, I added Ionia County Sheriff's number to it. And I did not get your email about the militia either. I hope I don't get dinged for saying that. Yeah, he would have needed his food card. I agree, Adam Forever 21, you know. Jen, what do you mean by off the radar? What do you mean? Well, I'll text you. Jen's probably sleeping. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting to these comments a little bit later. Thank you for being here, Detroit. He wouldn't survive off the grid this long. I know. That's what I was thinking too, Jessica. I mean, you know, if he went straight to Arizona, then I can see that. But they haven't confirmed. I haven't heard anyone confirm that they didn't do a water search. If there's a lake nearby, I would think that they'd want it searched. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of lakes around the area, and they have because they have Tupper Lake, and then they have excuse me. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Sorry about that. Tupper Lake that he lives on here, right? And then there's another one. Is it on this? Oh, okay. I can't pull it up and show you guys on this one. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up on the Google Maps. Because he used to hang out down there as well, at the other lake. Hold on a second, though. I'll show you the whole map so we can see it. And Oak Ridge Drive. Okay. I was going to say it should just have it in there, but here we go. Okay, let me go ahead and share this over. There we go. Okay, so Oak Ridge Drive on the map here is where he started. And then you also have this big one, Jordan Lake. There we go. Now we can see Jordan Lake. And it looks like those two maps were kind of cut off because I could see Jordan Lake a little bit, but it looks like that map was cut off maybe like right about here because I still saw like the shape of the lake. And then it looks like to me that there was like a scent or something of interest or something right there. If we were looking, I should probably have done like a comparison of the maps, but I didn't have a whole lot of time. The blue background one. Let me see, Detroit. Hold on a second, girlfriend. Let me grab this. I think, now I don't know that his route was correct on the map, and I wanted to change that over too. But I just got that information today. I probably should repost his flyer. Because the last time I did it was 4 days ago. Yeah, and this is the one that I added. Give me one second. Remove that. 'Cause this is the one. There we go. How do I make it bigger? That's strange. Oh, this is family tree thing. Okay. Hold on. Oh, there's little P. Diddy with the nasty old P. Diddy. All right. No. Well, because the first one I had up, it didn't have Ionia County Sheriff's number on it. And I was like, well, we need that. So I wanted to update it. Oh, there's my plant. Yeah, this one's not going to let me click on it because I have multiples. I betcha. And that's the shares. So yeah, but it's on that page if you click on it, Detroit, in like in the posts. Oh, okay, maybe that's about as big as it's gonna let me do it. But I added the sheriff's number. I don't think that he went across from what I was told. He didn't take excuse me, he didn't go around, not across. He didn't go around Tupper Lake. He cut over. So let's remove that and I'll show you guys that again. Here we go. Right, because he could go around and in the main road would take him into town, but instead he did, and I kind of said this in the beginning that I'm surprised he wouldn't take this way. Like even because you're right there, especially if he's hanging out at places like this, the home park or Lake Go Laundry is right here, right? Because he liked to hang out in the laundromat to charge his phone. And they seem to have like a boombox and stuff. Now here's a camera. It said that they were doing an update that day. I don't know how true that is, right? So this is Lako Laundry, and it's self-service, open 24 hours, right? So, um, and he wasn't doing laundry there. He was just hanging out there, and then sometimes he would sleep there, to my knowledge. Whoops, sorry. But, it's a very small little spot, and his friend told me that he did enjoy going up there and talking with people because Devlin definitely liked to talk to people. But there's not a whole lot of places for him to sleep, so I'm not sure how that worked for him. Um, this is from 2018, right? 2021 here. But I mean, it's just like a regular old laundromat where, you know, people would do their laundry. And Devlin was there every day, it seemed like. According to his friend, he was really into his routine. There is one SO in the trailer park. Women's Warrior says, Jessica, did they ping his phone on the day he went missing, or did that data come in later? That's a good question. Really good question. Um, I will read this part because I thought that maybe some of the family might want to be in here in order for us to ask questions, right? And I'm so glad that Jessica's here. But I did get a message from Tamara about the pinging. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Oh. Okay, give me 1 second here. The lake, to my knowledge, did not get searched. No, and his phone was never found. No, perfectly imperfect boy mom, his phone was never found. Were the lakes on his path? where he was walking. No, Shadow, no, they weren't. As a matter of fact, he went a pretty like rural way, a more rural way than he could have went, because he would cut through. So, give me one second here. And I'll leave that map up. The lake is concerning. I agree, Adam Forever 21. A lot of people are concerned with the lake. Shadow says, if so, they should call some people like Adventures with Purpose, Narc Divers, etc. Yes, and I have given a couple of those. Holly S sent me one, and I forwarded it over to Jessica. Another one was Ann Reynolds, and Ann Reynolds sent me a couple of them. Because yeah, they really want, to my knowledge, there's a couple of things that they have to do, and I think it's about getting it approved, but they know how to do that. The ones that are really well known, like, I mean, especially like Doug Bishop's group. He was with Adventures with Purpose, and I'm pretty sure they know how to like go about asking law enforcement if they can search. And it's tough to see because it doesn't look like they didn't. So wonder if many plate searchers done in the area. I hope so. Um, um, Seclusion Work says, I don't think he is in the lake. If he is either wedged or weighted down. Let me explain why. A body accumulates gas, which forces it to rise. Yep, Seclusion, you got it. Yeah. So that leaves other possibilities like sinkholes, persons with foul intentions, and misadventure. Yeah, I mean, I think the sinkholes, I think they would have identified the sinkholes. I'll just say that. Like, if there were sinkholes in the area, I think that they would have identified one being open or something like that. That's just my thoughts on it. But thank you, Seclusion. And you're right. Like, that's what I was looking at during the Riley Strain case. Unfortunately, I did do a lot of research on that, like when he would come up to the surface and things like that, because I thought, well, boy, if Riley did fall into the river, then he'll be revealed soon, right? And I think it was like 10 days, and it depends on the conditions, the weather conditions and such. Because if it's very rainy and whatnot, that affects it. Um, and Jessica says, to my knowledge, that night Kelly Holcomb says, were the cameras around the laundry? Were there cameras around the laundromat? Yeah, like there's cameras in the laundromat, but the thing is that they were doing an update. Apparently, I don't know if how true that is though, because that was coming from a not so reliable source, in my opinion. But let me see here, because we can do like a view. I think since this is um, I don't know why I can never get my little man to do. Well, then go down there, guy. Maybe I just have to zoom in all the way. Oh, look at that. Usually, if I just click on this little guy on my phone, he'll just go to it. I don't know why it's different on the computer. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Click highlighted areas. Oh. Maybe they don't have a Google Street View for this, but they should. I would think. Maybe they don't. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let me do it. My apologies. Will they let me do it on 4th Street, 4th Avenue? Oh, here's a little Google man. Oh, how did I end up in there? All right. Well, that's not where I wanted to be. Coop's Funeral Home? That's not where I wanted to be. Like, it won't let me click over here. It'll let me click over here, though. All right, there we go. No, where are we? Oh, the Methodist Church. Okay. All right. What does it help me? Oh, it just keeps bringing me into here. How strange is that? Sorry, guys. I'm horrible at this. It was letting me click on it before, but either way, we could see in the picture there that they had cameras in there. So a round of that, I would think. Now, one of the ladies, I think it was a Facebook group that shared one of my lives. She was saying that there's not a lot of cameras around, but I'm seeing cameras, right? I'm seeing cameras, but I'm not seeing Devlin on the cameras or him picked up on the cameras. So, that's weird. Swan is also worried about the lakes. The lakes need to be searched, in my opinion, if not, and the trails around it. Yeah, because he was said to have gone down on the trails. Doug Bishop, that's who I met, and I can't think of the name, or I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, and then there's another guy also that was with Adventures with Purpose before. Jessica wants to know where the chair is that he was pushed into. The trailer park concerns me. It's just strange that where Devlin's phone pinged. I think so too, and the fact that it pinged so late at night at 11 p.m. Yet he was supposed to be in town so early. You know, so move the sinkholes theory to number 3. Seclusion. Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking they would have saw one because those are pretty big and they do take out a lot of land when they do fall through. Um, Skeletal remains were found at the bottom of the river where I am from. A snorkel man found the skeleton. Oh wow, Swan. YouTuber is here. Did they find out who it was that was in there? Good to see you, YouTuber is here. Thank you for being here. Detroit says the lakes around there are inland lakes and there is very little wake. The water is usually very calm unless there are high winds or bad storms. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Detroit. Hmm. So it would have been just like a calm little lake over there. I mean, not little, but obviously Jordan Lake's bigger, but I agree. Yeah. Seclusion says Devlin is a big man. It would take effort to move him. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Riley Strain. I know, Shadow. His poor mama. I know. I know. That story made me sad too. Seclusion works. Yeah. My daughter graduated high school the same time Riley was. They were the exact same age. Someone told me Michigan has so many lakes, almost par with Minnesota. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of water, a lot of water. Yeah, rivers do have different, how do we say it? Rivers are just like completely different, right? Yeah, currents, and it can take you and sweep you off, and that the Cumberland River is humongous. Women's Warrior says, Lady, I believe Devlin was known and loved by the community, and it concerns me that they are not coming forward and speaking up for him. I wish we could find out why. Yeah, I understand that. And I find it equally odd and concerning, but I do know that there are a lot of local people that want Devlin to be found. I do know that. But it is strange that there's no camera. Yes, that is the one that I sent over. Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom. His exact thing is, I'll tell you, unless I have it on my other. Well, I sent Angel's Recovery Dive Team, but I think his is different because it was a different one. I did have to delete my messenger off of my one phone. My other phone is charging in the other room. But yes, and like I said, Miss Ann sent me that one. Because I mean, you just never know if he might, he could be in there. So, Women's Warrior says unless he never took the route, they're saying, and he didn't follow any of the route that day. But we were made to think that. What are the definite sightings that we have evidence of that day? Okay, so I'm glad that you asked that too, Women's Warrior, and that's been the toughest part to kind of put together. Well, not really the toughest, I guess, one of them. Um, but bear with me here. Oh. Oh yeah, see, hold on one second. Because I have to find it. What I wanted to do too, here, I'll do this. I'll play this video. Oh, this video. Just bear with me. Here we go. Because I want to show you guys what was initially said on the news clip. But I could do that while I'm searching for the other information. So just bear with me here. Was it this one? Okay, yeah, it is. I can't believe I got that on the first try. Okay. So let me share this screen with you.
New tonight, the family of a missing Lake Odessa teenager is hoping someone knows where he is. Devlin Tate was last seen April 21st on surveillance video at Carl's Market downtown. 13 on your side's Kiara Patterson spoke with his family. She joins us now with the latest. Kiara.
Juliet, Devlin's family says his disappearance has been a complete shock, and they're hoping someone can help bring him home.
Heartbreaking and gut-wrenching.
That's how 18-year-old Devlin Tate's family describes the past week and a half.
Our family is going through a living hell that I wouldn't wish on nobody.
It was supposed to be just another Monday. Devlin, a routine walker, left home for a trip to the store. But this time, he never returned.
I didn't think anything of it really until like 10 o'clock hit, and then I was like super worried, especially when I went to places and couldn't find him. Then my heart just sank.
Sabrina Cook says her nephew was last seen the morning of April 21st on surveillance video at Carl's Market in downtown Lake Odessa. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 170 pounds, and was wearing a black sweatshirt, white t-shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots.
He's got a goofy personality, brown hair.
He's well known in the community. He frequents Buddies on the Beach, Carl's, Penny's Pizzeria. the laundromat.
Devlin is diagnosed with autism, cerebral palsy, Tourette's, and fetal alcohol syndrome. He's now been without his critical medication for over a week. His family is working closely with police, but with no solid leads. They're asking the public to check security cameras and report anything that could help. With his 19th birthday just weeks away, his family is holding on to hope that he'll soon be found.
Devlin's birthday's in 25 days, and I hope that he's home before then. We can only hope that he's still alive, that he's okay.
And if you have any information about Devlin, you're asked to contact the Ionia County Sheriff. Juliet.
Thank you, Kiara.
Okay, guys, so I just wanted to play that really quick, and then I'm going to play this dispatch audio again because I just need to hear what you guys have to say about it. And it's definitely conflicting information, in my opinion. And so let's play it again.
$34.16, copy your call.
Good.
It's going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but is normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. The Lake Odessa officer is aware and is looking around the village, but if you could check the area as well.
Okay.
Also, be advised, the aunt had said that he's got a friend, Joni Sowers, who lives in a trailer park. There's a possible address for her in the notes as well.
Okay.
2232. 6436, your status?
Security.
Clearance suspending, 2232.
22 from Central. Go ahead. I ran her caller. She's got a couple of care bonds out of Ionia County. I'm clear. 2232. 3416 from 395. Good. I can head over to 47 Mandy and check out that address, if that works with you. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
463 status.
Okay.
You're okay, 2237.
36 is Otter. 9 and 16 are Grand River and Dorian Drive.
Clear 36 or 78, can one of you break to go back 622?
36, well.
Clear 2239.
622, I'll be out.
Clear, you're out 2239.
26 here. 4919 secure. Well, secure 2242. Real stop.
Clear 115, 6436, you clear the rest?
Sure, Jack.
2242.
I want to go check the address 47 Mandy. 47 Mandy no longer exists. I am going to go down to the auction barn and see if he's over there.
I'm clear 2259.
Okay, guys, so, there's a bunch of discrepancies, and then also it looks like Sabrina had a record at that time. So, that's another piece to the puzzle, because when they ran her name, they decided, or excuse me, it was, they were more like informed, sorry, that Sabrina had a record. And I apologize, I just had to delete some things off of my phone here because I have too much stuff. So just bear with me here. I've been just saving a lot of stuff like mad lately. So bear with me a second and I'll find it. And I could even probably pull it up over here. I just thought I'd be able to pull it up on my phone and make it a little bit easier. I just got to go up to my waffle here. So it's interesting to me that there's so many discrepancies that I'm going to have to probably put them into a video because there's just so many. Um, there's just far too many. So let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I just have to go through this. Okay, so Tamara tells me, and I don't want to share the entire email, guys, but I am just going to read this off because YouTuber, did I just take your, sorry, YouTuber says, unless he never took the route, they are saying he didn't follow any of the routes that day, but we are made to think that. What are the definite sightings that they have evidence of that day? And this is what Tamara shared with me today, right? And she says, as far as them pinging Devlin's phone, it last pinged around 11 p.m., April 21st, in the trailer park. It was within 100 feet of the Parapro's trailer. That does not mean that he was over there or had been there. I was just told that the incoming days after, excuse me, that in the upcoming days after his disappearance, they kept trying to ping the phone with no success. They believe that is where his phone either died or his service was shut off. So, again, they were trying to ping the phone, but they were unsuccessful. In doing so, and they continued to try to ping him after his disappearance. So last ping, according to Tammy, is 11 p.m. April 21st in the trailer park, 100 feet from the Parapro's trailer, right? And there's a phone tower we heard over there, which I'm not 100% on that either. But they said that she's saying that they did not get a ping after that. Also, give me 1 second. Okay, this is another um, part here. Hold on. Okay, so the route that Devlin would have taken from the laundry mat to the trailer park, he would have walked straight east to Jordan Lake and north to Sunoco, east down to the trailer park. Instead of turning left into the trailer park, if you follow the road, it turns into East Tupper Heights or Tamarack. We just live up over the hill and around. It's a shortcut to town, about 20-minute walk to Sunoco and about 30 minutes to Carl's. And, that's when um, I realized, okay, let me go ahead and change the route because you can actually see it if we go here, back here, where Tamara's talking about is a road called Tamarack and it turns into it, right? So like this is the road where it's like West Tupper Road, but it turns into Tamarack, right? Then it's West Tupper Heights and they live around here, right? Oak Ridge Drive, excuse me. So here's the trailer park. And it was about 100 feet, she said, that his phone pinged from Keisha, right? That's where we know that the Pro lives, around off of Keisha. But I'm not exactly sure. Let me see. Uh, Yeah, he would just follow that road as a shortcut and then north to Sunoco, right? Is what she says. And then another interesting piece I wanted to bring up as well. Um, sorry, guys, let me get that here. And it says, in the beginning, when Devlin first went missing, people were letting us know where they had seen Devlin the day he disappeared. Sergeant said if it wasn't caught on camera, it was just hearsay, which I mean, I see that, I agree. A lot of information got swept under the rug and forgotten about since then. I have begged our community repeatedly to contact me with any information from the day in my posts, but unfortunately, nobody has come forward. It's my understanding that a lot of those older posts have been deleted, such as the one about the person seeing someone matching Devlin's description, being hesitant about getting into a dark blue or black vehicle with two other occupants. There was also a girl who Devlin on the 4th Avenue, excuse me, who saw Devlin off of 4th Avenue after he had stopped to pet some lady's dog around 2:15 to 2:30 p.m. She said he got a phone call from someone who was supposed to meet at Sunoco for a possible ride. I don't know how Jessica got it that it was his grandmother that he was talking to. Okay, so somebody, yeah, I'm not sure, and hopefully Jessica can give us some insight onto that because, again, it is hearsay. But yeah, we were talking about the grandmother, um, and she says if you have any more questions, feel free to email me again. And I did email her. Um, let's see. Okay, so this is another piece that I've just seen right now. Sorry, guys. As for Devlin's route, I gave you the one in my last email. Sorry, and I'm sorry about that. I was more like wanting someone to kind of draw it on the map since he said he would like track through the woods sometimes. So the the others that he sometimes took, he would walk up this little hill from our place to the track, excuse me, place to the 2 track and walk over to Bonanza Road there from Jordan Lake Road down to Sunoco. So I appreciate that as well, because that gives us a little bit more insight. And as for cameras from buildings, I was told the most of the businesses have them inside to catch shoplifters, not outside. And I do have to say that we saw a bunch of them, like a bunch of them. Jessica says someone said it on a post on Facebook somewhere. Can't remember if it was on Sabrina's page or uncensored. Now known as Dublin's Tatum. Excuse me, Devlin Tate. I think you probably meant to say Devlin Tate informed, right? Sorry, Jess. I was just reading that. Um, thank you. Thank you. Hey Kiki, good to see you. Welcome in, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm over here on the other page reading off this. Um, okay, so it was on a Facebook post. Thank you. And I think the other one was as well. Um, and then I asked about Devlin if he was caught on camera at Carl's. Um, let's see. That's how we know he's wearing a white shirt, not a red one. They said he bought something to drink and a snack food. It was like $12, not enough to last him all day. Right. I monitor his Bridger EBT card. I can see when it's used, where and how much he spends, plus his balance. It hasn't been used since he used it at Carl's. He still has over 200 on it. Plenty to have kept him fed. So And then okay, so she says, a thought I've had is he met 3 girls on threads.com, all on April 17th, of whom he said, I want to meet up, right? Possibly not being a female. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. That can always be the case, right? So, hmm. And my apologies, guys. Let me go back up in the chat a little bit. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. I'm a little bit behind. Someone who knew him, there are no known motive involved, right? No issues with anyone. Well, it turns out, Adam Forever 21, that there were a lot of issues with other people in the community, so to speak. Um, Devlin had put his number out there for odd jobs. And so he was getting prank called. And we can, well, I'll just say we can see it on the other map. And I hate to keep going back and forth, but there are instances where you can see that there was prank calls that were checked out because it said prank call. So I'm just assuming. Um, I have way too much crap on my phone, Kiki. I have way too much. Okay, so let's see here. And I apologize because I got a little bit behind here. I'm from a country that has the highest rate of missing persons in the state besides Alaska, or in the states besides Alaska. Oh, wow, Swan. Yeah, we're gonna have to realign everything, right, Kiki? As new information comes in, so to speak. Because I know that there was a lot that was off, right? Would a phone ping if it's in the water? I believe so. And the only reason that I know that is because there was a girl who was missing from or in the Bahamas, and they found her phone in the water. They were able to ping it in the water, like in the ocean. So, no, there's no water in the trailer park, Kiki. Like, I mean, it's all Tupper Lake and Jordan Lake. So see, it's just all that's the path and everything through. So, and this is just the trailer park. It's small. It's like a smaller little one off the path here. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of homes, and you can't tell me that people. I mean, there was a post where they're like, "Oh, well, we just feel really safe here," but it's like, I mean, it doesn't matter how safe you feel in a place. Um, you would still try to protect, like, say you have a boat or something like that. People that have boats and stuff, I would think they would keep the cameras on their boats and things like that. Yeah, so Kiki, up north, we have villages. Like Chicago has villages. That's just kind of something like that they still use up north is the village of Lake Odessa. You know what I mean? Like I know that is confusing too. I don't know if they did forensics on. I know that Tamara said on Crime Time Buzz that they searched her home and her property around July 4th or on July 4th of 2025. So I mean, the scent did not go to Sunoco to my knowledge. I'm still kind of getting some help from Jules to decipher the map. But I wanted to show it to you guys, and then, if there's anything that sticks out, and like I said, feel free. I'm gonna post it um on the page so you guys can grab it if you wanted to talk about it on the lives. Could this Sabrina got him involved in something? I don't know. I don't know. Because I will say that Devlin seems to be good at like involving himself because he's a people person, and anytime that we, meet a new person, we are vulnerable to the person, we don't know if they're a nice person or not. And Devlin really didn't know a stranger. In my opinion, it seems like he was pretty friendly to everyone. Yeah, I don't understand that either. I don't know that they are just treating it that way, because if we look at the maps, they really did a lot of searching in areas and things like that. And I do think that if he was involved with the Michigan militia, especially that sector of them, and knowing that the house was raided and stuff like that, if that is true, that was alleged by Matt, and it was cleared out, then they probably weren't the best group, right? Like they might not have been people who were following the law. And Matt did allege that Devlin told him about guns and drugs being there at the house. So does LE know to look for a car? I don't know. I am not sure, Kiki. You would think they would, but according to Tammy, they said that the the sergeant said it was hearsay, right? Like any sightings and stuff, which I mean, I get it, but wouldn't you try to see if you couldn't? Because like I said, it just seems to me that in this day and age, no camera footage is odd. Yeah, Threads is part of Instagram. Yeah, it is. I know who these I do know who these girls are per se. Um, because I've looked at some of the posts that someone had sent me. So, and yeah. Yeah, that's the area that the maps that I was showing, Kiki, here, I'll pull it up again, is the area that they searched. Like all of their, what they tracked through, I think it's the tracking app Sartopo is what Jules said it looked like. Um, Google Drive. Oh, hold on. Maybe I want to go to SAR map one. All right, and that's no. All right, SAR map one. So this is SAR map one, as I named it. And you can see, oh, sorry, it's being slow. It's just being slow. I've got like 5 billion tabs open though. So my apologies. Here we go. So here's the top, and I know it's kind of hard to see unless I zoom in on it. So there we go. So here's the top, and you can see all of those dates and stuff. And this is everywhere that they've searched. Do you think he went somewhere thinking it was for a job, then got ambushed? Yeah, I don't know if he actually had a job scheduled that day too, Shadow, because I know he was having some issues with people sending him on false jobs, or a fake job, or saying that, they were being a jerk. I don't know how long it's been, since I've seen people that will put like even there's even a little boy in our neighborhood that's willing to like do like little odd jobs and he has his info posted on the board outside. And I would hate to think that he would get any prank calls from anybody. Like I think that's really immature. Women's Warrior says, "Lady, so last CCTV sightings is at Carl's. We had, was he on video there? Was he on CCTV at Pizza Place too? We need actual video evidence just to be sure, because anyone could be involved, in my opinion." I agree. And I've heard that there is footage of Devlin in the store or on the cameras. But then I've heard that there isn't, and I haven't seen anything. I mean, I need proof too. I agree. And to my knowledge, no, that was the only time that Devlin was there, and there was also a purchase made that they could see on his card, right? So I don't know why they haven't released the footage from Carl's. I don't know. It really doesn't make sense to me why they wouldn't. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Especially if his phone pinged hours later at 11 p.m. Women's Warrior says, "Lady, if someone lives in the area, if safe to do something, they could put up flyers with an email or phone number to confidential to come forward with information to help you track his last movements." Yeah, and I know that there are flyers that have been put out. I know a person that had reached out to me on an email told me that they have passed out thousands of flyers in the area for Devlin. And I so appreciate that. That's what we need for people to be doing, and to keep on posting his flyer, keep on sharing it, anything that we can do to get the awareness out that Devlin deserves, because he didn't get it. The news clip that we watched earlier was only one of 3 that I could find. And now I didn't go digging really, really deep. I'm sure there's some articles and things on the web, but the information is very sparse. There's a lot of information on the Facebook groups, but as we said earlier, a lot of this stuff was getting deleted, right? So why are people deleting information in this case, right? Brenda Calvert says, "Have they asked the phone provider if the phone was a hard shutdown, like someone hit the phone uh, hard to destroy, or if it was soft shutdown, like the battery died?" I'm not sure about that, but that's a really good question. That is a really good question. So, because I know they finally got the phone records. Hard shutdown or soft? Very good question. So the soft would be battery die. And then someone had, if somebody physically turned it off or shut the phone off. That is a really good question because I don't know the answer to that. Oh yeah, Jessica, please don't feel bad. You take care of your little one, hun. No worries, Kiki. It's okay. It's okay. My brain is just mush and I'm going in a million directions. Swan says, "How would someone go about getting his missing picture out to the rest stops along the way to Arizona?" That's a really good idea too, Swan. I mean, I don't know. I ended up being able to do that, luckily, from Missouri to Florida, just because I moved from state to state and I put Sebastian's missing flyer on the back of the Penske trunk. Um, and then I was able to, stop off at different rest areas and things like that. Every single place that I stopped on the way, I posted a flyer and I didn't care. I didn't even ask. I was too much of a hurry to ask. And so I didn't. Um, Cece says, "Was it said that Devlin was to testify against someone in court the day after he went missing?" Did he witness a crime? Well, the thing is that it's not. No, he wasn't going to court the next day for that or in order to testify against anyone. But I will say he did have a court date that he was scheduled to be at, and he knew about it. And he had a ride set up through John, which is Matt's son. And, with the part of him witnessing a crime, I'm afraid he could have if he was hanging out with the militia boys, because they were running with some undesirable situations. Obviously, they were raided, according to Matt. So I still have to look more into that as well, um, in order to get a better grasp on if that could have been part of it. Because if he did see something, that could have been an issue. And Kiki says, CC, I think it was just for him, if I'm correct. Yes, Kiki, I've been studying 3 cases and it's all running together unless I write it down. Oh gosh, yeah. Jessica says, I have to get off here for a second. AJ's crying. Aw, he's got school in the morning. Yeah, get him to bed, Jess. Thanks for being here. Don't feel bad at all. I mean, hell, we've been on here for 2 hours. I just looked over at the time. Um, That's a lot to keep track of. It is a lot. It is. Do you know what direction he went when he left Carl's? You know, we don't know the exact direction that he left in order to get to Carl's, but there's only a few different routes that he could take because it's right there. It's right there. Um, so if we look, Laco Laundry is here, right? And Carl's is right here. And let me show you guys Carl's really quick, because this is why this is crazy to me if there's no footage at Carl's. Because if we look, they've had cameras since 2017, according to these pictures. Camera, 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 right? 2017. Cute little kid, 2019. 2017. Camera, boom, camera, boom, camera, boom, all down the meat aisle, right? So it doesn't look like they have much up here at the desk. I don't see a camera. But here's a camera as you walk in. So the fact that they say that they don't have the cameras because they're worried about shoplifting, but they got cameras coming into the store, and that's been since 2017. So unless that camera's not working properly, then I don't know. It's strange, right? Because then we also saw them at the laundromat, but they said they were updating. So was Carl's updating too? So, Carl's is on 3rd Street, right? Excuse me, Carl's is on 4th Avenue, my bad, and 3rd, right? So he could have went this way up to Laco Laundry. I doubt he would have gone around, he might have taken the least, the shortcut. But it's literally from here to here. So perhaps because here's the parking lot and this looks like a backyard to somebody. So I'm guessing he didn't traipse through somebody's backyard. He might have. Um, it looks like it's open, right? Um, but yeah, there's Laco Laundry right up the street. And of course he could have went up 4th Ave and then he could have went down 2nd and come over here, you know, but and I don't know how anybody would know his exact route that day unless they were with him. I mean, except for the fact that Devlin's on the autism spectrum, so he keeps his routines pretty, um, pretty much the same. A truck stop ministry. Swan says, I've seen missing persons pictures and contact information at rest stops before. Yep. Oh, yeah. I put them at rest stops when I'm on my way, you know? And Women's Warrior says, did anyone ever use his card? I know it's not supposed to be these things happen because we need to know definitely him. If no CCTV, it's crazy that something is really wrong here. I agree, Women's Warrior. And according to according to Tamara, she says that yes, he did use his card, and that's how they know that he was wearing a white shirt instead of a red shirt. But it was also said that he was wearing a red shirt, not a white shirt. So again, I would really like to just see the footage if it isn't something that they think would obviously, you know, spoil the integrity of the investigation. I don't know why they wouldn't just show it, because it is odd. And if there is no footage of Devlin using his card, then somebody could have used it, right? And that would have meant that maybe somebody took him or something happened to him when he was walking from his house into town, right? Because his house is back over here, and this is the route that Tamara said he would take, you know, into town, right? Because it turns into the road. So yeah, I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying to see if they would want to come speak. And I even, like I said, I invited them to come in the chat tonight too, to look over some of these maps and see if they recognize any areas or anything. But the only person that showed up was Jessica. And I appreciate her being here, you know. But the thing is it's very tough because I haven't heard one single person say that Jessica wasn't in Arizona. So if Jessica's in Arizona and she lives very close to, you know, the border, I'll just say that, make that make sense, right? And honestly, the people that need to start telling the truth or being honest or trying to help find Devlin are the people that were with him that saw him last, right? Because we're getting a lot of conflicting stories. And his curfew was at 10, and I never heard them say like we were going to have him home early, you know. Yeah, all the cameras. And when somebody in a Facebook post tried to say that there aren't any cameras in town, and I'm like, are you sure about that? And here's the thing about Facebook posts too, guys. People get really ballsy behind the keyboard, but you know, when it comes to actually showing receipts of things, then they don't want to show receipts. Oh, I just thought that was in my opinion. No, that's not how it works. Why are you saying something if you don't know? Like if you don't know, say you don't know. There's nothing wrong with saying you don't know. But to just make things up along the way is not the way to do it because we're wasting our time. We're wasting all of our efforts and energy. I don't have time to do that. I want to see the proof. I want to see the meat and potatoes. I want to see all of it, the whole thing. Good point. Kiki says, Chuchi, agree. And lady, what did Matt say about the Parapro ring cam footage? He just said that the Parapro has a ring cam. He didn't say that there was footage, to the best of my recollection. Girl, my brain is fried too. It's crispy. It's 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 extra crispy. Original recipe, nope, extra crispy. If cameras are updating, do we have another CP and KP situation? I mean, I don't get it, really. I mean, I'm over here like, what? Like, make it make sense, right? Women's warrior, good point. Or he never even left the house, right? Because the only people that say that he left is Sabrina, and Sabrina left around 7:30 that morning, right, to go to a job. And, Tamara said that Sabrina would be a good person to talk to in terms of, that Tamara was at the house, right? And then Sabrina was out. So, and maybe they're busy. I'm not trying to say that they're not here for a nefarious reason. Maybe they just don't want to talk, and I get that. But, you know, don't get upset when we start trying to piece things together, and, that's the problem, you know? Oh, yeah, I think they hacked into the camera system, Women's Warrior. I really do, because we had a pajama jammer party, camera jammer party. I forget what I named it. And we kind of came to that conclusion because that neighbor's camera was hardwired, and you can't jam up the hardwired. Jammers won't they only jam up the frequency and on the in the internet. Um, they don't. But now if you hack the system, then you'll see what we saw, like, where's the one, the mad one? Oh, here it is. Here's the one that the FBI put out, right? Where it's stuck. The camera's just stuck there for days, right on that time, right? And the wrong date. And here it is again. Oink oink. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. And just from the research, but there's jammers that you could wear them and just be in close range, and they're as big as a watch. Like, they're very small and they're very illegal. But that doesn't mean people don't do it. I learned how to make one on YouTube. From a kid. The kid sounded like he was, like, I don't know, 18, 19, maybe 20, teaching me how to do illegal stuff. And I was just like, oh, that's how it works. And it's very easy, especially for somebody like me who's not really technical. If I can figure that out by watching a video, anybody could do it. And she's trained in the military for comms. And Detroit says, didn't Sabrina say he would be home between 6 and 8 p.m. and she called the police before 10 p.m.? Yeah. Yeah, which she did call them. Yeah, I know. I know, Detroit. And then she sent them to the Parapro's house, and the police went over to the Parapro's house. I don't know if they went there later on that night, and maybe they would figure out who was there making the phone ping. Yeah, it's not going to help find Devlin. Yeah, that's why we don't want him to, that's why I couldn't have an open panel, because everybody would get up there and just want to fight with each other, and I don't want that. You know, if everybody comes up individually and talks, that's different, because that's them getting their side out, or if they want to email me and I'll read it. Like, I just read some of the things, and I don't think Tamara's going to be upset with me for reading it. I'm just reading what she said. And but that it's not hard unless, and I mean, Sabrina moved, and it's just, I don't know why she wouldn't want to do everything she could, but that, maybe she doesn't know that I'm live tonight. Detroit and dispatch, it sounded like they said went missing at 8:15 a.m. The last time that they saw Devlin, I guess, was around 8:15 a.m. And I don't know what they were referring to about that. Because if Sabrina left at 7:30 in the morning, then that's a major discrepancy, no? Um, yeah, it's like, wait, what? The very first detective on my son's case never took my phone number. Or excuse me, never took my phone to have it checked out for my son in his case. I begged him to. My son called me using someone's phone. I needed to ping check satellite intel dumps. Were you able to, was your son able to be found, Swan? Or no, you told me. I'm sorry. I just remembered just now. I'm sorry, Swan. Kiki says, thank you for your super chat. Kiki says, wait, Sabrina left at 7:30. Dispatch says he went missing at 8:15. Yeah, so I'll play that again really quick, guys. Hold on, let me switch it over. I know it's a lot, and I turned the dispatch up all the way. Like when I saved it at double volume, and if I have to, I could do it again. It's just that it causes a lot of feedback in the background, and I don't want you guys' ears to get hurt with all the beep, and you know how it goes with the dispatch, and they're like, that noise and stuff. But here you go. This is what Sabrina told the news. Hold on a second. Let me go all the way back. Okay. Oh.
Where he is. Devlin Tate was last seen April 21st on surveillance video at Carl's Market downtown. 13 on your side's Kiara Patterson spoke with his family. She joins us now with the latest, Kiara.
Juliet, Devlin's family says his disappearance has been a complete shock, and they're hoping someone can help bring him home.
Heartbreaking and gut-wrenching.
That's how 18-year-old Devlin Tate's family describes the past week and a half.
Our family is going through a living hell that I wouldn't wish on nobody.
It was supposed to be just another Monday. Devlin, a routine walker, left home for a trip to the store. But this time, he never returned.
I didn't think anything of it really until like 10 o'clock hit, and then I was like super worried, especially when I went to places and couldn't find him. Then my heart just sank.
Sabrina.
All right, guys, so let's stop it there, and I'm going to play you the audio because it's only like 2 minutes. So bear with me. Let me get it pulled up. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Maybe it'll help if I play it.
3416, copy a call.
Good.
It's going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but is normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. The Lake Odessa officer is aware and is looking around the village, but if you could check the area as well.
Okay.
Also, be advised, the aunt had said that he's got a friend, Joni Sowers, who lives in a trailer park. There's a possible address for her in the notes as well.
Okay.
2232. 6436, your status?
Security.
Clearance defending, 2232.
22 from Central. Go ahead. I ran her caller. She's got a couple of care bonds out of Iron County. I'm clear. 2232. 3416 from 395. Good. I can head over to 47 Mandy and check out that address. If that works with you. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
46-3 status.
Okay.
You're okay, 2237.
36 is on. 9 and 16 are Grand River and Dorgan Drive.
Clear 36 or 78 to one of you, break to go back 622.
36 full.
Clear 2239.
622 LBL.
Clear, you're out 2239.
26 here. 4919 secure. Low secure, 2242. Real stop.
Clear 115, 6436, you clear the rest?
Sure, Jack.
2242.
I want to go check the address 47 Mandy. 47 Mandy no longer exists. I am going to go down to the auction barn and see if he's over there.
Okay, guys, so I'm just going to turn it back to the beginning really quick. And
3416, copy of call.
Good.
It's going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but's normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. Lake Odessa. The Lake Odessa officer is aware and is looking around the village.
Okay, yeah, so it says he hasn't been seen since 7 a.m. this morning. Yeah, and it looks, I think she said caller called it at 8:15 p.m. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Hold on one second, we'll play it again.
$34.16, copy of call.
Good.
It's going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but's normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. Lake Odessa. The Lake Odessa.
Yeah, the times are not adding up in my opinion. And then also we heard Sabrina just say that she reported Devlin missing at 10 o'clock, but we know that that's not the case. So I do find that to be a little bit odd, to say the least, right? So we just heard the dispatch audio, and we'll let Sabrina talk again.
I didn't think anything of it really until like 10 o'clock hit, and then I was like super worried, especially when I went to places and couldn't find him. Then my heart just sank.
Sabrina Cook says her nephew was last seen the morning of April 21st on surveillance video at Carl's Market in downtown Lake Odessa. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 170 pounds, and was wearing a black pounds and he's 6 feet tall, weighs 170 pounds. Odessa.
All right, guys. So I showed you guys the older picture from 2017. Look at right here. There's a camera right here as as you walk into Carl's. There's a camera right here as you walk into Carl's. So how didn't they get him at least walking into Carl's? And then he used his bridge card, right? To buy something for breakfast, really, and he would have been wanting lunch at a certain time, right? But he never used his card again. And Kiki, 47 Mandy doesn't exist anymore, is what the police officer said. So they gave him either a bogus address, or that's what they thought the address was. So either it was intentional bogus address or just a bogus address. I'm not sure which one, but he's like, I'm going to go check in another place that Devlin would frequent, right? And then, yes, Cece says she has a couple of what bonds, meaning Sabrina. I didn't understand what was said there, if anyone can clear it up. So, yeah, she had a couple of bonds with some pending charges, and those were shared in the dispatch. I do have some more dispatch that's going to be coming in, but I'm working on getting the audio for that. And so, I mean, I just find it interesting that that Sabrina had some issues, and obviously it looks like they're doing some due diligence, because whoever's reporting Devlin missing, they're checking her, right? They're running her name, and they did, and that's what popped up, so was Sabrina wanted for something that she bailed out of? I'm not sure what that was about, Kiki. I'm gonna try to look into it or figure it out. Like I said, I was hoping that she'd be able to help us get some clarification. That's what I was wondering, if that was what I thought I heard. Yeah, yeah. The dispatcher did a radio check on all the officers during all of that. Yeah. And like I said before, this was a big piece of audio that had other calls mixed in with it, and I just took out, everything that was to do with Devlin, and kept it. Um, I think that house, Kiki, was on Briar Street, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds like she might not have called until the next day. Yeah, Kiki, that could very well be. That could very well be. I want to go back, and maybe I could get that part up a little bit, because I still can't figure out that 8:15 part. Was that 8:15 p.m. or a.m.? She says in the interview that he's usually home between 6 and 8 p.m., I thought. Um, not in this particular interview, Detroit, but there was a couple of other ones. Hold on, I'll play this one. Let me get the other one.
6 feet tall, weighs 170 pounds, and was wearing a black sweatshirt, white t-shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots.
He's got a goofy personality, brown hair.
He's well known in the community. He frequents Buddies on the Beach, Carl's, Penny's Pizzeria, the laundromat.
Devlin is diagnosed with autism, cerebral palsy, Tourette's, and fetal alcohol syndrome. He's now been without his critical medication for over a week. His family is working closely with police, but with no solid leads. They're asking the public to check security cameras and report anything that could help. With his 19th birthday just weeks away, his family is holding on to hope that he'll soon be found.
Devlin's birthday's in 25 days, and I hope that he's home before then. We can only hope that he's still alive, that he's okay.
And if you have any information.
Okay, guys, yeah, and if you have any information, make sure to reach out to the Ionia County Sheriff's Department. They have jurisdiction in the case. Here's another clip that we have from WILX News.
Anything like this would happen.
A family in Lake Odessa looking for answers tonight after their loved one disappeared. Good evening. I'm Ann Emmerich. Devlin Tate, an 18-year-old with special needs, was last seen on April 21st in Lake Odessa. Now, 8 days later, he has yet to be found. News 10's Amaya Nikki sat down with his family tonight. She joins us now live in studio with details.
And Devlin Tate was last seen wearing a black zip-up hoodie, t-shirt, blue jeans, and cowboy boots. He's just shy of 19, but his family said he is much younger mentally. They're asking anyone with information to come forward to help bring him back home.
Even I break.
Oh, I know. I've broke quite a few times.
Something that can't be helped.
It's something Tamara Host and Sabrina Cook say they never thought would happen in their small community of Lake Odessa.
It's heartbreaking, not knowing where he's at or how he is.
On April 21st, their loved one, Devlin Tate, vanished.
It's just important for us to find him because we love him. And it's not like him to be gone for so long.
He was last seen at Carl's supermarket, and ever since his disappearance, the family has been working hand in hand with law enforcement and have even taken to social media in search of answers, hoping someone comes forward with information. They've even conducted search parties.
I'm not going to stop looking. I'm not going to give up because it's not who I am, for one, and for two, I have a strong devotion to my nephew.
Devlin may be just shy of 19 years old, but his family says he's much younger mentally. He's diagnosed with cerebral palsy, ADHD, Tourette's, and fetal alcohol syndrome, and is without his vital medication.
Somebody out there has to know something, and they're just not coming forward. I wish they would.
Every day that passes is another day the family is left wondering where he is and if he's safe, saying they won't stop until he's back at home where he belongs.
There's power in prayer. We got a lot of people praying.
The family is offering a $1,000 reward.
Okay, guys, so that's that one. And then there was one other one. Hey, Kiki.
Hey, lady. Not to bother
Okay.
you,
No, you're
but
not bothering me at all.
how's everybody doing? I'm wore out, but I sound horrible. But anyways, hello everybody. What I caught on that dispatch was that they said he was supposed to be in at 8 p.m., okay, but that he was last seen, okay, he went missing at 7 a.m., which would mean he needed to be in the night before by 8 p.m., and she didn't see him. She may have not have seen him. She may have not known when he went missing. She just kind of threw out a time, in my opinion, and didn't call till 8:15 the next day, is what it sounds like.
Well, and I was wondering because if we look at the map where um, give me one second, where they were tracking, I don't see any searches that night. Or I don't recall. Let me make sure though. But
Like,
I'm not like I don't see where they were searching on the 21st. So like if we look up here, 22nd,
yeah, something's not adding up. And then she
right?
tells the news he needs to be in by 10 p.m. And then the phone pinged at 11 p.m. Something's not right with all this, in my opinion. And
Not at all.
Sabrina, if you are listening, we are very reasonable to talk to family and everything. We just want everyone to come out, family members, and be able to speak individually, not together, because there's so much, animosity, but come out individually and let's get your side and let's get the time straight.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't, return Tamara's email, but I will, and I'll just say I'll ask when he was reported because all on these maps here, I'm not seeing any searches going on the 21st at all. Nothing on either map.
Yeah. So they're saying that his, what is it? Gosh, what's it called when you're supposed to be in curfew? It's
Mhm.
10 p.m. They're telling us 10 p.m. They're telling dispatch 8 o'clock that night before is what I'm understanding.
Well,
But
she also said that she didn't start panicking until 10 o'clock to the news.
so what date and time did she actually call Jessica? Because that would be the discrepancy right there. The 21st or the 22nd.
She called it Jessica said she called her on the 21st at about 7:30 p.m. Matt said he called Jessica at 7:30 p.m. And then Jessica
Oh,
said that she got a phone call from Sabrina and she told Sabrina go ahead and call because even if Devlin's upset that we called the police on him to do, a well check or whatever to find him, at least we're playing it safe. But
So she
again,
didn't.
I have
She
to
didn't.
say, I
Go
just think
ahead.
I just think it's weird that, he had a 10 o'clock curfew. Why were they worried about him at 7? And then not only that, it's been alleged that they would lock him out if he was late. So why were they calling so early? Why were they I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
So they called Jessica early on the 21st, and they
7:30
didn't end
PM.
up. Yeah, they didn't end up calling 911 or whatever until the next morning at 8:15. So that's 12 hours, right? Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up the timeline a lot, especially knowing that, Sabrina left the house before Devlin allegedly. But he was, putting his bedding up and ready to get out of the door, shortly after she did. Because she had an odd job in town that day. Well, and it was, his friend Jordan said it was part of his routine as well. So just the routine of things. He would go to Jordan Lake. He would go to there's a place called Buddies on the beach right there. So is the dispatch audio from the 22nd? No, it's from the 21st as far as I know, Brenda.
Okay, that's weird then.
I don't know what they were talking about at 8:15. I couldn't tell what the dispatcher was saying about 8:15.
Sounded like they said 8:15 a.m. So would it have been the 21st and they waited to search that long?
I mean, I don't know if there's other maps too of them searching that night, but I don't see any timestamps on these maps that say that they were searching then. You know?
Hmm. I'm gonna go over that dispatch like really closely with I may even do the transcriber thing.
Hey, Orman. Yeah, says no, it's from the 21st. They kept saying the 22nd on the top, but it's from the 21st. I was getting ready to cross over into the 22nd. I think that's why I said that. Oh, okay. Oh, that why this they might have said that because it was later on at night maybe.
So he's been missing since 8:15 that morning and she waited until nighttime to call
Well, I
at
thought they
7
said that
p.m. maybe? I don't know. I'll have to go over that dispatch. I'm gonna go over it and I'm gonna do the transcriber and write everything down that I can hear. I'll do that tomorrow.
I thought my software had like a closed captioning thing, but I hate the closed captioning because it doesn't always get it right.
Yeah.
Like
See,
even on YouTube.
I have the the dictation kind of thing, but sometimes it can still pick up things. This is really
Well,
weird. Like the dates and times and then like 10 p.m., all that. It's just not is not coming together and then knowing, and this is a legend in my opinion, but somebody knowing exactly which route he took.
I mean, I could put let me see if I could put closed captionings on the video because I think it'll let me do it. Let me see here.
And I'll go ahead and
Oh,
drop down because I gotta go lay down next to the little one.
yeah.
But
I'm glad you came up though. Thank you for coming up and, talking because I mean, it is all odd. It doesn't make any sense. And especially the times changing in the interviews, because like when they were interviewed on the news, that was right after he went missing, so it would be the freshest in their mind, I would think. Like
And
all
the
the
times
information.
were all different.
Oh
Kind
yeah,
of
I picture.
giving
I'll,
me KP and CP vibes.
oh, big time. I mean, that's the problem. It's like nerve-wracking because, this child is out there missing, but it's like all of this conflicting information, and then they're upset about misinformation, but the problem is I mean, they're the ones that are saying conflicting information, right? I mean,
Yeah,
right here we're seeing conflicting information.
yeah. That's why I think that you need individual people to come up and kind of be like, no, this is how it went. You know,
Yeah,
it
well,
would be really helpful.
I agree. I agree. Oh, no worries, Orman. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down. Good night,
All right,
everybody. I'm
girl.
gonna be listening.
I'll play it again with the closed captioning, see if we can't make out what she says about that.
Awesome.
Sometimes it's
Thank
wrong
you.
though. I know sometimes it's wrong, but that's a great idea. Thanks, Chuchi, because I forgot we could do the closed captioning here.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you,
Kiki. Thank
lady.
you.
Love you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you so much. Love you too. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So let's play this really quick and see. Oops, wrong one. There we go.
3416, copy the call.
Good.
It's going to be 1855 Oak Ridge Drive, across of Walnut Lane. Caller is Sabrina Cook. She called to report her nephew missing. She said he normally goes and walks around Lake Odessa during the day, but is normally home around 7 o'clock. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning. Was last heard from around 8:15. The Lake Odessa officer is aware and is looking around the village, but if you could check the area. There is aware and is
So it says, but normally home around 7 o'clock. Whoopsie daisy. Hold on. Sorry. He hasn't been seen since 7 o'clock this morning.
was last heard from
As I've heard
around
from
8:15.
around 8:15.
Lake Odessa. The Lake
Lake
Odessa officer
Odessa.
is aware and is looking around the village, but if you could check the area as well.
Okay.
Also, be advised, the aunt had said that he's got a friend, Joni Sowers, who lives in a trailer park. There's a possible address for her in the notes as well.
Okay.
2232 6436, your status.
Security.
Clearance suspending, 2232.
22 from Central. Go ahead. I ran her caller. She's got a couple of care bonds out of Iron County. I'm clear. 2232. 3416 from 395. Good. I can head over to 47 Mandy and check out that address, if that works with you. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
463 status.
Okay.
You're okay, 2237.
36 is on. 9 and 16 are Grand River and Doreen Drive.
Clear 36 or 78 to one of you, break to go back 622.
36 full.
Clear 2239.
622 LBL.
Clear, you're out 2239.
26 here. 4919 secure. Low secure 2242. Real still.
Clear 1 to team 6136, you clear the rest?
Sure, Jack.
2242.
I want to go check the address 47 Mandy. 47 Mandy no longer exists. I am going to go down to the auction barn and see if he's over there.
I'm clear 2259.
Okay, guys, so that was that, and that did help out a lot. There was only a couple of things that it got wrong, um, on the audio, but it sounds to me like maybe a call came in around 8:15. Um, and Orman says, yeah, there's two different calls on the scanner audio. I believe one has nothing to do with him. Thanks, Orman, says Kiki. Yes. And I got these SAR maps July 10th at 8:18 a.m. And that was just because I went out in the area with a private investigator that I was messaged from Jessica about. So I went out and checked it out. Thanks, Orman. I really appreciate you doing that. And I think they said that she had pair bonds, and so that's why I said pair bonds. But it sounds like, because yeah, they said on the dispatch that the caller, when they ran her name, that there was some pair bonds, I think they said, and I don't know if that means that she had two. And bonds, it would be plural. Um, yeah, Swan says he needs something to eat every day, no activity on the food card for 5 to 6 months is a huge flag. Who's feeding him now? Exactly, Swan. And, I wondered the same thing myself. And I understand that Tamara was wondering the same thing when she was emailing me, too. That's what I was thinking. Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom says she's out on a pair of bonds as in two, you know? There was one, Kiki, there was. Yeah. So 8:15 would be when he was seen at Carl's, right? Yeah, that's another good point, Detroit, because they said 8:21 a.m. 8:21 a.m. Um, and there was another one. I will show you guys too. Let me go ahead and see if I can't um go back to this one. What's the one we just watched? There was a Wood 8 interview, the other one, and I wonder if that's the one, Detroit. Um, let's see. That's 13 on your side. We watched that one. Let's see. Oh, I see Kiki and the algorithm and me and the ease. Let's see. Uh, let's see here. Here we go. Here's a small. Whoa, sorry. That one was really loud in my ear. Hold on, let me just. I put it up for the audio. Oh, here we go. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. All right, here's another one.
From Wood TV.
Devlin, if you can hear this, we love you. We miss you. Just at least let us know that you're okay.
40 days without answers after a Lake Odessa teen vanished. The Ionia County Sheriff's Office says 19-year-old Devlin Tate was last seen on April 21st. News 8's Adriana Doria spoke with Devlin's family as their search for answers continues.
Still lost.
Definitely. It's gut-wrenching, not knowing.
The search for Devlin Tate continues, and his family's cry for help.
Still worried. My thoughts and emotions still have not changed. I'm still thinking that there's more to this situation than what's actually being said.
Monday, May 26th was Devlin's 19th birthday. His family spent it without him as they enter day 40 after his disappearance.
I'm lost at which way to look.
Devlin's cousin and sister say that Devlin was last seen on surveillance video at Carl's Market downtown. They say he's diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Okay, guys, and another thing too is that I don't understand why now in this news clip they changed from Sabrina being the aunt to the cousin. Butter Biscuit, good to see you, Butter Biscuit. She says, did he have money? Where did he eat that day? Did he buy anything to drink in town? He only bought something from Carl's supermarket in the morning around 8:21 a.m. on his bridge card, which is his EBT or food card. And he had money on there. He has a little bit over $200 on there still to this day, and he never used it after that, Butter Biscuit. So, I'd imagine he'd be hungry. Um, thank you, Orman. I'm so sorry. Drive safe out there, and I appreciate you being here. Um, well, I don't know about that Coffee Crime and Cats. I'm not sure if they dove the waters or not, because it looks like on the SAR map that they just went around the water. There was a couple of areas that were going through, but yeah. Here we go. Here's the rest of the
autism, Tourette's, and fetal alcohol syndrome, making his disappearance even more concerning.
It's not like Devlin to go this long without communication. It's not like Devlin to
Not even be on social media at all.
And not only that, but not to, whether it be with us or to my grandma, but to at least reach out.
In the days and weeks since his disappearance, Sabrina and Tamara have taken to the community, law enforcement, and social media for answers. They have fundraised enough money to offer a $6,000 reward for anyone who helps bring him home.
Devlin, if you can hear this, we love you. We miss you. Just at least let us know that you're okay.
Sabrina says as the time goes by, it's been hard to move on, not knowing if Devlin is safe and okay.
So I start 2 jobs this week, and I feel like I'm doing wrong because I feel like I'm moving on with my life without him. And I feel like I'm not supposed to.
So now they are holding out hope for a positive outcome, hoping to see Devlin home again soon.
Keep hoping that he'll knock on the door to let him in, or he'll come walking through the door when it's open. We want the prayers to keep pouring in for him and the support. Everybody knew him, and the list goes on.
Yeah. And we all miss him.
From Wood TV.
Okay. So that was Wood TV, but I don't remember where that was said, and it could have been a Facebook post too, because there was a lot on Facebook that was being said kind of about everything. Sorry, I had to put myself someplace there. And I agree. Butter Biscuit says that, it seems the community was close to him and someone would have spoken out by now. And I agree. I agree with that because he was out in the community all the time. Every day that, he would get up and walk to town, take the same route according to many that I've talked to. It was just part of his routine. The purchase was on the 21st. The purchase was on the 21st, Women's Warrior. Yeah, 8:21 a.m. Yeah, she said she was starting 2 new jobs, which is I find to be a little bit weird. Well, not weird. She could have as many jobs as she wants, but she did move to Lansing, Michigan, shortly after Devlin's disappearance. I'm not 100% on when exactly. Um, so, but yeah, she said she was in the, or, right about to start working a couple of different jobs, new jobs. But then again, if she did odd jobs around town, I don't know if that means that she had a couple of new odd jobs, which could be true too. Or a possibility, I guess, I should say. No, I didn't get that one yet, Orman. I didn't. Did you get the second scanner clip I sent where he told the other officer to come up Keisha Court in the trailer park. No. Did you send it to my email though? Maybe it was the email. I only got the one recording. Oh, Kiki, that's funny. I just got your text when I was checking here. Um, no, because I would have cleaned it up a little bit and got it in because I know there were a couple of different calls mixed up into that one. Well, not mixed up, but it's from the scanner. So I mean, they're pulling in, other calls. There was like a domestic that night. Um, they were checking out some other guy. I forget what his name was. Um, so yeah, we might have to listen to the second one and we'll have a better understanding. Women's Warrior says, Lady, I just got chills. The words of the family members in the interviews are exactly the same as KP and CP. Yeah, other family who are uncertain about, the other family that we're uncertain about, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, and the timeline has shifted so many times, and then it was said 11 a.m., his phone pinged at the trailer park when really it was 11 p.m. Um, Aw, Butter Biscuit, thank you. And I know, isn't it just like, I don't know, Devlin just, you can really catch, who he was in that video. We got to hear him talking, which I thought that was awesome too. Yeah, Butter Biscuit says the video you put up of him singing captured my heart and showed me so much about him. Aw, thanks, Butter Biscuit. That's so sweet. And yeah, Devlin seemed to just be like one of the friendliest people you'd ever want to meet. He just comes up and talks to people. He's not worried about, um, anything besides, being friendly and getting to know people. And I know that even when he was like hanging out at the laundromat, he would enjoy just when people would come in and do their laundry and he could talk to them, is what I've heard. So I think that's really great. I found it odd. Like, I wonder where they got 47 Mandy Court from. And like Perfectly Imperfect Boy Mom was saying earlier, did they move the trailer? I mean, I know they've done a lot of remodels. Like I saw the newer trailers and stuff, and they were really modern. Had like a lot of the grays and stuff that we see like modern um decor and stuff like that. So um yeah, yeah, he talks to everyone like he's known them all his life, it seems like. Yeah, yeah, he's just fine to talk with people, and he'll um get up there and sing, which is, that takes a lot. Like some people have to have a couple of drinks to get up there and sing, but Devlin was like right there. So Oh, okay. Oh, great. Orman says the scanner app usually catches every call. That's why you hear about someone being detained. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. I knew it wasn't Sabrina that got detained, because, and like also I should have probably taken that part out. I might have skipped over it or thought that I had to keep it in or something like that too. Um, because it is hard to kind of decipher it, but it seems to me like they were saying that they were looking since 8:15, so I really want to hear that other part to it. But it sounds like it was in the beginning, the first part. I also wonder if his trusting nature led him to trust a person. Well, and that's the thing too, Butter Biscuit. I worry about that as well. And then also him talking to the girls, or they said they were girls, but I'm not sure if they are if they were girls, because like we never know. People are always catfishing online, and so you just never know if it's like the person is who they say, you know. Oh, thanks, Orban. Thank you so much. I know I've been like that too today, just like a chicken with my head cut off, and I'm like, but I wanted to get all of this in. I understand too, Kiki. The timing is off. There's a lot of contradictions, and it's pretty glaring. Um, yeah, and I will try to even enhance the audio a little bit more too. Because it's a small, like, I think it's only like 2 minutes or something. I should be able to like send it over to you. Once I fix that little part, I could probably, because once it's saved, I can just like go in there and turn it all the way up and see if we can't hear it. Um, and Chi says, Kiki, yes. Did you read what I sent you? If so, why would they lock him out for being late? Well, and that's the thing. That's really what we're trying to figure out, is like if he's usually locked out for being late, why are they so worried about him being late? Obviously, he had a court date the next day. Um, but they didn't care about getting him to court dates before, so that's where I'm having some trouble, with that. Did he ever get a new phone? Because the one in the video kept going out. So does he have a working phone? To my knowledge, he still had the same phone in the video that I posted, the most recent one of him at Bob's. And he was saying, hey, my phone, I dropped it on 4th Ave. And ever since then, I've been having trouble with it. And it seemed like the screen was just like turning, just blacking out on him, out of nowhere, or he couldn't access certain things. But it was just a phone from um, Family Dollar. No, no, he did do social media. He did, Sandwich. Good to see you, hon. Yeah, so he did, yeah. And according to his uncle, which I have not verified this, it was for a probation violation. Probation violation. What I was wondering about Matt, in my opinion, was Matt said his son worked at Burger King, hence someone aggravated Devlin about an $80 cheeseburger. Well, they said that it was McDonald's. They said it was McDonald's. And that's another audio that I wanted to kind of get cleaned up and put out, is the crime time buzz one. Where Tamara is talking. I know that Mr. and Mrs. E's Crimecast did a live about Devlin, but I believe that they were only in the chat, and I haven't gone back and listened to that one. Um, but he hasn't been on social media. Like, he hasn't used his card. He hasn't been on social media. He has not called anybody, and he had a routine of calling people. One of the people being Sandra, his adopted mom. Yeah, he does have some charges. Chi says he's saying in the video his phone broke when he dropped it, but Matt and them said that his phone doesn't keep charge. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I thought it was a good clip to, enter in to, kind of like a sneak peek for tonight. Because yeah, that was another, out of the horse's mouth, out of Devlin himself saying this, right? Um, so yeah, because that's what was said. Tamara also said that he had dropped his phone too much. Like he was dropping his phone. Yeah, on Crime Time Buzz. Yeah, he hasn't been on social media. Thank you. I'm glad you're here, Sandwich. Thanks for being here. And Butter Biscuit says, did he stay gone all day or sometimes go to town and straight back home? That's a good question. I think he typically would stay all day, stay all day until he had to come home. Sometimes he might come home early. As far as I know, most of the time he would stay until curfew. Typically, that's why we're a little bit confused. And then if he wasn't in by curfew, they would lock the door, as far as people were saying. Now, I will say that I believe that Tamara had um, said that she never locked him out. Oh, thanks, Kiki. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and times are not adding up at all. Like not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Could he have asked someone online to take him to his mom's? Maybe was to meet them in town. Who he asked could have harmed him. Yeah, well, and that's what we were wondering because there was a post. Do I still have it in here? I think I do. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I didn't delete it. So this is the one that was coming from the Facebook group. Um, and it says Devlin Tate is as usual, he's been missing for 143 days today, almost 21 weeks. Someone out there knows something. I wish they would just speak up. I pray that God will help him get a conscience, or excuse me, help them get a conscience soon. When Devlin first went missing, someone had said they saw someone matching his description, hesitant about getting into a vehicle with two guys. If you know this person or are this person, please contact me. It's really heartbreaking not knowing what happened to a loved one when they've gone missing. I think that's the hardest part. If you saw Devlin that day, if you spoke to Devlin that day, please reach out to me. I have so many questions and not enough answers. And that was September 18th at 6:03 p.m. by Tamara Host, which is Devlin's adopted sister. Um, and that's the post. And, you know, I do find it odd that two guys would come. Like, here's my thing about the threads. If there was girls that Devlin thought he was going to meet up with a girl, then good night, Kiki. Thanks for being here. And thank you for coming up on panel and let me know what you think. Um, you know, I just have a feeling that Devlin, if he saw those guys, like they'd have a hard time getting him in the car, right? If he was expecting a hot girl, right? And I mean, I'm straight as an arrow, but I'm just saying in his boy mind, and he's like, I'm meeting some hot girl today, and some dude shows up. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna be like, oh hell nah, I don't want nothing to do with that. But you know, if but they said that he was reluctant or hesitant to get in the car, rather hesitant. Yeah, that's true. Coffee Crime and Cat says, hell, he could have been, excuse me, he could have seen something he shouldn't have. That's what worries me about living at the Michigan militia house, quote unquote. And that's not to discredit or, say anything bad about the guys that, I mean, if you do research on the group, they're kind of like preppers. There's some affiliations that may be unfavorable, but it's kind of like a gang. It's like any other gang out there. you know, in my opinion. They do recruit people who are upset and disenfranchised and, don't have the kind of love and care that they need. Let's just be honest, we all need that no matter how old we get or how, big and bad we are. Sandwich says, how long has he been on probation? He has been on probation. I am not exactly sure about that. I know that he started getting into some trouble around the time of him turning 18 or so, to my knowledge, but I'm still trying to figure out when exactly that occurred. Um, and we're going to try to figure that out because I think that part, even though I say, I don't like to talk too much about the past, but I do think that part is important. Like when he started getting in trouble is important, just to figure out what was going on with him, Sandwich, just to figure out like where he was at, where was Devlin at. Because I don't think he would have taken his own life, right? He seemed like he was a very jovial kid, right? Like happy-go-lucky even though he was going through a lot of shit, he really seemed happy-go-lucky kid, you know? And my mom would say that's a hardy person. That's what she used to call it. Where they don't let life get them down. And Detroit says, who saw this happen? Was LE notified about the two guys? So, like, it was a person, according to Tamara, um, that said that they saw him when Devlin first went missing. Someone had said they saw him, or they saw someone matching Devlin's description, hesitant about getting into a vehicle with two guys. And I know that Tamara also said, that give me a second. Sorry. And here she says this to me again when we're emailing back and forth. She says, in the beginning, when Devlin first went missing, people were letting us know where they had seen Devlin the day he disappeared. Sergeant said if it wasn't caught on camera, it was just hearsay. So a lot of information got swept under the rug and forgot about since then. I have begged our community repeatedly to contact me with any information from that day in my posts, but unfortunately, nobody has come forward. It's my understanding that a lot of the older posts have since been deleted, such as the one about the person seeing someone matching Devlin's description being hesitant about getting into a dark blue or black vehicle with two other occupants. There was also a girl who saw Devlin on 4th Avenue after he had stopped to pet some lady's dog around 2:15 or 2:30, and said he got a phone call from someone who was supposed to meet him at Sunoco for a possible ride. So, that was Tamara bringing it up again to me. So, I mean, it obviously is standing out to her, you know, and I think Tamara, to my knowledge, from what she's told me, she said that she was at home all day, right? She was at the house. So, she wasn't out and about in town. Swan says, when did Zach Thompson get released from jail? That's a good question. I don't know. And I mean, that does bother me a little bit. I can't lie. Because he did threaten Devlin, but here's the thing about Zach Thompson. He's a 19-year-old kid, and in my opinion, is he capable of doing something? Sure. Maybe so. I mean, he did get in trouble for apparently assaulting a police officer, and things like that. So yeah, he could very well be, but I'm very hesitant to kind of speculate too much because he is a young kid, you know? I hope that he turns his life around, and that's what I hope for. And I hope he didn't have anything to do with Devlin's disappearance. But we still have to look at him. You know, we still do, and that goes for anybody that bullied Devlin. Really, you know, who had a reason. You know, it's always means, motive, opportunity, right? Who had the means to do this? Who had the motive? Who had the opportunity? Oh, I asked because if he has never missed a probation date. Yeah, that's a good point. He to my knowledge doesn't miss. And he was ready and with a ride that day. If he often missed probation dates on accident, not even about his troubles, but more his routine. Yeah, and that's the thing. He was nervous and didn't want to get in trouble. So like I don't know that he would have skipped off. I really don't think he would have. Butter Biscuit says it's strange that he kept his nose clean till 18. Many youths start getting in trouble years before. My brother started at 14 and 15. Yeah, and that is interesting to me. I know that Matt had said there was some juvenile stuff, but I don't know. I don't see, and juvenile records are sealed to my knowledge. So if there was if there was something going on with Devlin prior to that, I would like to know. But as far as I know, that's when I kind of saw the activity of him, getting in trouble, so to speak. Um, yeah, and he had it in another county sandwich, so he actually he had a ride set up through his brother Matt's son, John, and John was supposed to take him. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know that they've rolled out foul play in this case or not, Coffee Crime and Cats. But there is a lot of water there, and the police, I would assume, they would have brought in a dive team if they thought, he might be there. I'd still think that the lake should be checked, in my opinion, you know. Yeah, he had a ride set up. What he usually had to get a ride because, to my knowledge, it wasn't like he had court right there in town. Like he had charges from, another place that he was getting that taken care of. Um, I don't know what John looks like. I don't. I don't, because I did like a little bit of a family tree just to get it, because Devlin was adopted, so it was kind of like trying to pull in everybody, and how everything came to be. Um, you know, and so this is kind of the family tree type of a thing that I made, but um it's tough because it's a little bit of a different dynamic since and I'm going to tell that story too from both perspectives, right? Just so we can get a couple of different perspectives in, but I'm working on a video in order to do that. Good night, Chuchi. I'm heading to bed too, girl. We've been on for 3 hours, so I'm gonna hop off here because I do want to do a day show tomorrow. Um, According to Matt, the parapro was interviewed, and I don't know how often he was visiting her Detroit, but it really seems like they were pointing to the parapro really early on. So I don't know if he had plans to meet the parapro that day or if that was just something Sabrina maybe just thought of the top of her head. Like maybe he's over there. He does know Joni Sowers, but they definitely, directed them straight there at first, you know? Oh, like if it was in his character. Oh, okay. Or like what's his character? Um, I'm not sure. We didn't get a whole lot about John the other day, except for that he does work at Burger King and that he had been scheduled for work at 3 p.m. that day so that he could take Devlin to court. which is for all intents and purposes, that was nice of him to, get together for court. But then again, I don't know about the dynamic. Um, but I love you guys all so much. Let me see if I can't tweak that audio a little bit. I'm going to be listening to the other bit of audio and get that dispatch out as well. So, and then tomorrow I'm going to do a live. I did receive, um, my Sebastian t-shirts in my little bag that I ordered from Seth's merch store. So I'm gonna do an unboxing with you guys tomorrow night on the live. I got that planned out for you guys. I got my set changed over. It's fall. It's really pretty. I hope you guys enjoy it. Um, and I think John might be suspicious sandwich. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people on my list, because I haven't really gotten to rule people out or, you know, um, I'm still working on it. I know I got lots of questions. Sandwich too. Why the heck would they call him? Is he close to them? I got questions. I do too. I do too. Yeah. And Detroit says, I just wondered if he was close to her, would he confide in her if something was bothering him? Yeah, I mean, it seems like he did confide in a couple of people. He did have friends. He did have social media. Like he was very involved. That's one element that we have. Devlin's a little older than Sebastian, right? So he was gonna turn 19 when he went missing. So, he's got a couple years on Sebastian, but he also had a lot more freedom than Sebastian does, right? Like he didn't have, parental locks on the phone or anything like that. I also want to get into a little bit more of, you know, how Devlin was able to kind of take care of himself because the judge did say that he was deemed um, able to take care of himself, right? But then again, I'm thinking he had to have needed resources. And yes, Coffee Crime and Cats, they did use dogs, and I'm going to go ahead and post the maps too. I'll post the search maps in in the video. I'll do that. So that way, anybody can look at them. You guys can pause, zoom in, however you'd like. So I'll get those up too, so you guys can take a look. And I love you guys all so very, very much. I'm gonna play my little fundraiser thing, my fundraiser video to leave out. I have my Venmo and my Cash App linked in the description of this video. Um, and if you guys want to help me get to Pigfest, that would be great. I'm just trying to raise 400, and I think I've got like 150, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look again, but I think it's about that. But I'm trying to get up to 400 just to make it so I can get there without a hitch. So I will play that and everything. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Lady Freedom during the day. And here we go.